Hey everyone, it's Sleeperz from BG Cyclone, and I'm here today to talk about how my Roguelike Paladin deals with the dreaded Beastcleave. Roguelike Paladin is a bit of an uncommon comp that's played almost like RLS, but it's forced to play a lot more defensive at times. It's usually played with an Affliction Warlock, so when you come across an Enhancement Shaman, a BM Hunter, and a Pally, you might be at a loss to what you can do to survive, because a decent team will blow you up almost instantly if you don't know what you're doing. In this guide, I'm going to try to show you exactly what I do and how I'm able to keep calm and composed with everything going on around me. Sometimes it might be hard with the wolves, the BM hunter, and everything all up in your face. You don't exactly know what to do and you panic. So hopefully I'll be able to give you the tools to help you pull off a win versus Beastcleave when you're playing as Affliction. Before I give you some tips on surviving, I'm going to quickly go over my specs and the spec of my teammates. First off, I play UA as it offers a ton of pressure once you get a full row of dots on your kill target. Also, having instant halitear is great for when you're trying to peel. Also, being able to UA fear target when you're trying to CC is crucial when trying to land solid CC, since your comp doesn't have very many spammable CC, so you really need your fear to stick. My rogue likes to play melee because it allows us to tunnel plate wearers a lot better. The damage plus a full row of dots is enough to say keep a warrior in D the entire game, so it's really important you have that extra damage. Also, the rogue doesn't really need the mobility that Dance offers since he has a Dispel and Freedom. My Pally likes to play the standard holy spec as well. There's nothing really shocking or surprising to talk about with it, so here it is. So now I'm going to give you some tips on surviving a Beastcleave rushdown as an Affliction Warlock. It might seem like an impossible task, but hopefully with these tips you might be able to live a little longer, maybe even win. First things first is you're going to want to get a port down and find LOS as soon as possible. You never want to get stuck in the open versus a Beastcleave at the start, because they're going to snare you and it's going to be really hard for you to get to LOS to survive. Next, it's really important to corruption whatever's in your LOS, maybe the wolves, the BM pet, because every time your corruption ticks it's going to heal you with Siphon Line. I usually will never peek out during Bloodlust and BM, so you're going to want to dot whatever is actually in your LOS. Next, it's really important to avoid aim shot at all costs. Watch your buffs, and if you get aim shot, you're going to want to take as little damage as you can because it's going to be twice as hard to heal you. So if you're taking a lot of damage, wait till your aim shot falls off so you can get topped off and then pop out to start dotting, and then just go back until your aim shot falls back off again. Doing this is a really good way for your paladin or your whatever healer to heal you up. It's much easier on them. Next, it's really important to abuse the access maps like Dalaran and Blade's Edge. What you're going to want to do is put a portal on the upper level. As soon as they get on you, you're going to try to cut them down to the bottom level and then Shadow Flame them to snare them all and then port right back up. This way, it leaves them stuck on the bottom level, snared, while you're on the upper level. So they're going to have to run all the way back around or all the way up the ramp to get to you, which is going to buy you a lot of time, probably until your next Howl's back up. Speaking of Howl, it's really important you don't waste your halitear. Make sure you can knock Tremor and Fear at least the Shaman and his pets full. It's a bonus if you can get the Pally as well, so they can't dispel each other. It's best to use Howl on the Shaman after he's used Trinket, because if he hasn't, he's just going to Trinket the Howl and Tremor his pets out, which is not going to be that great. So yeah, those are some tips that might help you survive versus Beastcleave. So now I'm going to talk about how my Roguelike Paladin beats Beastcleave, or what a successful game is going to look like. First off, I'm going to try to get to LOS as soon as I can and get a port down, while my rogue attempts to open on the shaman before he can use his wolves. This usually won't happen, but depending on your LOS, the shaman might not wolves right away. It's more important that the rogue opens on shaman before he wolves and getting a stop on the paladin. We use Hodge or Blind or Gouge on the hunter early to try to force his BM. Your paladin's going to want to sack as early as he can, usually when they finally make contact with his warlock. Your rogue's going to want to attempt to disarm the blade through the BM and continue to lock down the shaman during the rushdown phase. If the shaman trinkets, this is when your warlock's going to want to attempt to break the tremor and land a really good howl on the shaman, paladin, and his pets if possible. As the warlock, you're going to want to avoid aim shot and try to take as little damage as possible during Bloodlust, because once BM's over, you can finally start going aggressive on the hunter. Try to keep your DRs free on the shaman, so try to avoid fearing him after the Bloodlust, so he's going to eat a full blind when you make your swap. Attempt to load up the hunter with full dots as he goes into a full cheap shot, kidney shot, disarm. At this time, you're going to want to land a Fear or Hodge, some kind of CC on the paladin to prevent heals. If you can live through the wolves and Bloodlust, you're in pretty good shape because you can just continue to sit on the hunter to prevent a lot of his damage, while you just have to play defensive during his BM. Other notes to remember: it's important to keep up Curse of Tongues on the paladin, corruption up on the pets if you want, and it's really good. You got to be really ready to dispel the Hodge on your paladin. Alright, so this part of the guide's going to show a game versus a Beastcleave. These guys aren't half bad, but there's obviously a lot better ones out there. It'll still show the general idea of what you would want to accomplish though. I'm going to be pausing it throughout and explaining exactly what's happening, and then I'll play it back with Skype in real time so you have a better idea of how we communicate. As the game starts, you're going to notice it's Beastcleave right away just by looking at the Paladin and Shaman's mana. I'm going to get Delvis right away and get up to Murmur as soon as I can. You'll notice most Beastcleaves will attempt to Frost Shock you in place, so it's important you get dispelled or you dispel yourself right away so you can maintain LOS and get your port in a safe spot. We have a very good opener as my rogue's able to open on the Shaman before he can Wolves, and I'm able to get to LOS without taking any serious damage. You'll notice me just watching the Hunter and attempting to stay out of his LOS at all costs, since him and his pet are the majority of the damage. I'm going to pause again so you can see what I'm doing here. You'll notice the Shaman's strength is the first kidney shot to stay offensive. This means he's going to pop his Wolves and then pop Bloodlust, so it's a perfect time to attempt to break the Tremor and land a fear on him and his Wolves. As a lock, you never really want to leave the box, so it's important you have good control of your pets so you can use it to go kill the Tremor so you don't have to leave your position. As you can see, my pet's running towards the Tremor totem, destroys it right as I go in for Howl. Making fears like this is crucial if you want to live through the rushdown. Even though I got a really good fear on the Shaman and the Paladin, I still want to avoid as much damage as I can, so I'm going to continue to LOS. I'm going to full dot the Hunter's pet here because it's in my LOS and it's important to keep corruption on as many targets as possible. A lot of Beastcleaves will just train the Warlock no matter what, but a decent one will realize when they can't kill it, so they'll attempt to swap to the Rogue. I noticed this, and this lets me know I can come out a bit and try to get some damage going. Since I came out to try to get my pressure going, the Beastcleave notices this. This is a true testament of how quickly I can die if I'm not careful. In literally a global, I'm taken to about 20%. In this situation, it's important to stay calm, so you'll see me using my Shadow Flame ability to snare all the targets, and then port back out of LOS and wait for aim shot to drop off. This lets my pally top me up. You'll also see my rogue using whatever abilities he can to try to prevent as much damage. So after I port, you're going to notice me staying exactly opposite of the Hunter behind the box. I'm watching my debuffs and waiting for aim shot to drop off so my paladin can heal me up easily. It's important to continue to play defensive at this point as I still have Bloodlust. As Bloodlust comes to an end, it's now time to start going offensive. I tell my team that I have Howl up, so I'm going to send my pet in to break the Tremor. My rogue lets me know he's going to blind the Shaman first so I can Howl the pally and the pets as he reopens on the Hunter with full dots. You're going to notice that their paladin is going to trinket my fear, then instantly try to hammer it just as my pally. It's really important that you can dispel your pally right away, so I'm able to actually do this so my paladin can counter Hodge their paladin with no trinket while their Hunter's getting completely destroyed. Your rogue's going to want a cheap shot into kidney shot into disarm so the Hunter can't deterrence. With enough CC on the paladin, the Hunter should die. If not, you can keep sitting on him for the rest of the game. In this clip, he's able to get the deterrence off right at the end, but my dots are enough to kill him.
It's just like hide a pillar and like
running,
never leave ever in your life.
I just used my dispel, so I'm gonna break the Tremor with my pet. Who are you gonna start on?
I'm not going Shaman.
I feared them all.
I just fell off like holy shit.
A second is less.
Guardian Shaman. Guardian's pet back here too. I'm just LOSing this Hunter.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull out the Hunter
off.
pet.
Nice. Oh, there's BM.
Guardian Shaman.
Topping you up.
Full kidney right now.
Oh my
Wow,
god.
taking a lot of damage, dude.
Disarm that.
I LOS. Trying to.
There's freedom. Can we go Hunter? Can you start doing something to Hunter?
I'm gonna come on in like 2 seconds. I just wanna. I don't have aim shot on me, so I'm trying to.
There, nice. He just used the.
Hex.
Okay, I'm dotting Hunter now. I'm
gonna blind Shaman after that deadly poison.
Okay. I'm gonna fear all three.
I'm stunned.
I got it. Get Rape Hunter here. I got a full fear on them.
Alright.
Stunning Pally.
He's disarmed.
He still might die. I can execute. Oh, nice.